What's going on, everybody? Shonen Express here, delivering to you a brand new kind of video. This kind of video is a video diagnosing philosophical topics in specific characters' lives. I'm going to call this series Letters to Home, and this first one is on Neji Hyuga. I have always been super interested in philosophy. In fact, one of my majors in college was philosophy, so one of my favorite things to think about is how many manga have deep philosophical meaning flowing throughout their narrative. Specifically, Naruto is no exception to that rule. While there are a plethora of philosophical topics that we could discuss from this manga, one in particular is the most interesting to me, and that is the philosophy of Neji Hyuga. Most people probably haven't given a lot of thought to this specific character, mainly because the story itself seems to answer the philosophical questions that this character raises. However, I'm not so sure that that is the case. Neji certainly does raise a major philosophical question, but I'm not sure that the story adequately answers that question. My goal in this video is to explore what questions Neji's life brings up, how I believe Kishimoto wants us to think, and if that thought is sound philosophical advice. Jumping right into the main portion of this video, we have to find out what it is that Neji's life asks us. This is simple. At the base level, everything that Neji does boils down to the question of whether or not our destinies are predetermined at birth, or whether we are free to choose our own path throughout the course of our life. At the beginning of Neji's introduction, it is clear that at least outwardly, his answer is that our destinies are predetermined and unchangeable. We see this in his treatment of his teammate Rock Lee, who is not naturally gifted but trains hard. Neji doesn't even view Lee as a rival because to him, Lee was simply not destined to be strong. The other major way that we see this philosophy play out is in his fight with Hinata. Neji simply states, "You're not cut out to be a shinobi. Withdraw from the match." Throughout the rest of this fight, we see that Neji views Hinata as a perpetual failure, which means that she could never surpass him. At one point, he even says a leopard doesn't change its spots, referring to how it is impossible for someone to change their predestined fate. If this wasn't clear enough, later on, he said similar things to Naruto during their fight. All this makes it clear that Neji believes that our destiny is predetermined. However, this is only on the outside. Already from the get-go, it is clear there are intellectual inconsistencies in the way that Neji applies this philosophy. If it is true that birth has a lot to do with destiny, then he should be content with his role in the cadet branch of the family and actively protect Hinata. As Naruto clearly states later on, the cadet branch is supposed to protect the main branch, but you used the exam as an excuse to beat up Hinata. It sure seems like you were trying to defy your fate too. At this moment, Naruto was addressing us as the audience and showing us the inconsistencies in Neji's own thinking. At the end of the day, while Neji does believe that fate is predetermined, he cannot resist the urge to break that mold. By the end of Neji's fight with Naruto, and after having the history of his clan explained to him, he says to himself the most important quote dealing with this topic. "I still can't be entirely certain whether people's fates simply coast along like the clouds in the sky, or if each person can choose his own path to follow. I suppose the destination might be the same either way." I will come back for the rest of that quote later on, but for now, we see that Neji has gone to a place of questioning and deciding to live his life to the fullest of his abilities. This is where we see him gain the determination to prove himself worthy of the standard of his earlier boasting, but not from a place of conceit, but a place of self-improvement. The next big section of Neji's life that we need to look at is the end of his life. Neji dies while protecting someone's life, specifically protecting Hinata's life. This is significant because it is the fate that was originally inescapable for Neji. I think that in having him die in this way, Kishimoto was indicating something very clear about Neji's philosophy to us. Neji's last thoughts are, "Father, I finally understand the feeling of freedom you felt choosing to die in order to protect your comrades." This statement ends the themes of entrapment and chains that Neji's philosophy had always brought with it. Because of that, I believe that this was the best possible ending for Neji's story. So what does all of that mean in regard to the question of whether our lives are predetermined or not? I think it's clear that Kishimoto does not think that Neji's original philosophy is right. Clearly, as our main character Naruto is actively opposed to this philosophy, we can be sure that this is not the right path. However, I'm not sure that he's saying it's the wrong path either. Let's go back to that quote at the end of Neji's fight with Naruto. The rest of the quote says, "But when you decide to follow your own destiny, you can strive to achieve your own dreams." And in my match today, I finally learned that people with dreams are the ones who are truly strong. I think that what Kishimoto was trying to say is that it doesn't matter. If we don't have predetermined destinies and we are free to choose our own paths, then we certainly ought to live with that freedom. However, even if life is predetermined and our fates are already sealed, we ought to live pursuing that same freedom because we don't know what that destiny is. I think that the main philosophical point of Neji's life is that whether we are tied to a single path or there is a plethora of options open to us, we all need to strive to accomplish our dreams, and that's something that we can all write home about. So that's all I got for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comment section if you like this kind of video. Personally, this was a really fun video for me to make, so I'd love to make more of these for you guys, but let me know in the comment section. If you didn't like it, tell me that. If you liked anything I had to say, please, let's talk about it down in the comment section. I'd love to discuss philosophy. Like I said, it's one of my majors in college, so I really love the topic. So definitely hit me up in the comment section. Also, if you liked anything I had to say, please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. I bring you special kind of videos like this, all about manga every single week, along with my weekly rankings at the end of the week. Every week as well. So definitely, I'd love to have you as one of my subscribers. But for now, that's all I got for you. So this is Shonen Express, signing off.